Hey, how y'all doing today? I hope you're doing as well as I left you last time, or better if you weren't doing so well last time. Anyway, so this is part 2 to my 6 fan arts video. Videos, plural I guess, since it's part 2. Last time I did 4 characters. Well, 2 of the same character, but 4 to... just watch the other video. I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, this time I'm just doing 1 character, but making it sort of a larger scene. And last time I did 2 of my favorite video games, and this time I thought I would do something that really helped shape my childhood and a lot of my story interests, and that would of course be the monumental, at least to me, no, I'd say a lot of people enjoy it, but the Bionicle series, particularly the early years. For this drawing, I am taking inspiration from the Flash animated Madanui online game, which, while kind of semi-canon, is more influential on what Bionicle became than a lot of the canon material from the first year of Bionicle. But I thought, last time I combined art styles and characters, so why don't I try something like that again? But mix it up, do something different this time. So I had thought about doing possibly a character from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I started thinking about it, and especially with the magic system, bending elemental powers, Avatar and Bionicle are actually very similar, both being these enormous world-building, amazing series that you liked it as a kid, and then you can still love it as an adult. So I decided, why don't I combine Avatar and Bionicle together, since they're similar, and I just always got a big kick out of the cabbage salesman and how he always has stuff, his cabbages get destroyed. So I thought, what if I did one of the characters from Madanui online game as the Bionicle version of the cabbage salesman? And the reason I picked Taipu is because he's sort of an adventurous Matoran, so I figured, he would probably, adventure out and sell his cabbages. I know he was a miner in the game, but he'd probably sell his, if he was a salesman, he'd probably sell his cabbages. I thought about doing Akmau, since he's actually a salesman, but Taipu's one of my favorite characters from the game, and he's also a Onu Matoran, which means he's part of the Earth tribe, and of course, as we all know, the cabbage salesman in Avatar is the part of the Earth Kingdom. Plus the green goes with Taipu's green eyes. So, and the color scheme works together too. So being silly and not looking very far ahead, I drew the entirety of Taipu as a Bionicle, and then added on top of him the the cabbage salesman's clothes. And I'll tell you, I can draw Toa. I could draw, you know, whatever kind of Bionicle. You know, I love to do like the movie version, like what I think the movie versions, the Miramax movies versions of the characters were a little bit different than the toy versions of the characters, obviously. And I like to kind of imagine what characters who were never seen in film version would look like if they were. But drawing the Tahunga Matoran version of the characters is the hardest thing for me. And I just had a ton of problems right from the get-go working on this one. I don't know why. Photoshop crashed so many times while I was trying to work on this. And trying to add in like the background and stuff, as well as, you know, working on the, you know, Tahunga version of the Matoran, or the Mictoran as they were known. And I was on a time limit, trying to get it done a little quicker than I should have. So forgive me if this one seems a little bit rough, possibly even rushed. But yeah, I'm glad I got to draw a Bionicle again. I enjoyed that, but my goodness, it caused me so many problems. Anyway, so as you may know, the Cabbage Salesman became a running gag in the Avatar cartoon because his cabbages were always getting destroyed by something to do with the Avatar crashing into them, or somehow the main character's antics would always end up ruining his cabbage stand, no matter where in the Earth Kingdom he was. Sometimes he wouldn't even be in the Earth Kingdom, if I remember. No, maybe he was mostly in the Earth Kingdom. Anyway, he'd show up in one episode, his cabbages would get destroyed, so he'd move to another episode, or another place in a different episode, and then his cabbages would get destroyed there. And I hear in some of like the extended lore in like comic books and stuff, he actually gave up selling cabbages for something else. But anyway, so in this drawing, I decided, you know, Takua goes around having adventures, kind of like the Avatar, so I decided to have Takua the Chronicler be the one to smash into the cabbages. And for drawing him, because I wanted to do the motion blur, I didn't do any line work. I just kind of made the vague shapes with color, and then just went from there. And while I'm not entirely happy with the way this one turned out, it was still pretty fun. I think I could have done better if I had spent more time on it, but anyway, hope you enjoyed this one. For the most part, I enjoyed it. I guess I'll see you in the next video, and I hope the rest of your day is even better than when it began.